live. Welcome. No fancy stuff tonight. We're just winging it. Hey, Sean, welcome. Why is that echoing? Hey, Brad's Trains. Floyd Robbins. Mikey ran away. Scared him. There he is.
What do you mean you live?
We're live.
I didn't hear no intro of the countdown.
No, I said I winged it. I just went for it. Well, it's past the time.
Oh, man, what a guy.
Yeah. Off track Monday. Come on. Oh, I was playing around with cameras today with Logitech. They work in StreamYard, but if you go back to another camera, I lose everything. I had to reboot the computer. Hey, Andy, are you still awake?
On my YouTube channel.
What's that?
Your YouTube. I had to shut the mute off on your YouTube because I was getting feedback.
You'd
say,
okay.
Hey, we're going live, like this button right here. Let me see. I'll show you it right now. You go to brand, then you scroll down, and then you hit this one. But you already went live.
I went live.
I would have heard that. I would have been in the seat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. It's okay. Did you walk the dogs? Not yet. He's working on it.
How's everybody?
Hey, Thomas Moore, welcome. Now, I think the cookie was won by Wigwag, I think.
Oh, Wiggy Wag got the old cookie?
He was in here at 11:50 a.m. this morning. As soon as I put it in the system.
Nice.
Yeah. Then a guy named Trackside Mike came in. Then Mike H.O. Trains. Welcome, Mike. He was an early birder.
Yeah, Mike was in earlier. I seen that earlier.
And Dwight was an afternoon bird. So was Ryan Ferguson.
Lots of guys.
Wigwag came back. He was the first in the evening chat.
Nice.
You got 2 cookies.
2 cookies.
John Knuckle.
I didn't get no dessert tonight.
And of course, Derek is here.
Derek Alexander
is here. Yeah, good old Derek.
John Knaufel.
Yeah.
Floyd Robbins. Robin Gagnon.
Hey, Robin.
Tuna Can Express, Curly.
Yeah.
Deep
Roger Coleman, welcome.
And Hot Dog Pilot, Tuna Dog.
Yeah.
Andy's in the chat.
It's midnight.
Yeah.
Hey, our good buddy CP Whiskey Creek and N-Scale.
And Roger. Chris. Coleman, how are you? And Chris from CP Creek N-Scaler.
Yeah.
Awesome. How's everybody tonight? CN Great Lakes Division.
Hey, how are you? Welcome.
Mike H.O. Trains. Thanks for the homemade cookies. Okay, perfect. So,
our good friend Chris from Go Via Go Home is in the chat.
Hey, Chris, how's it going? And Postmodern.
Ronald Rodell is in the chat. Welcome, Ronald.
Ronald.
Model Train Reviews is in the chat. Welcome.
Model Train Aficionado?
No, Model Train Reviews. And Deep Run Mike is in the chat. I got a question for Mr. Mike, too.
Stormy Sky.
About track cutters.
You what? Track cutters?
Yeah.
There was just about to watch that.
Conversation. What's that, Mike? Sorry.
I said I was just about to watch that, and then we went live.
Yeah, I know. Well, there was a discussion with Nissi last night about cutting track and which way you do it.
All right.
I always cut this way. The face that the smooth side is toward the track you want to keep.
Yeah.
Always down like this and cut. That's all I've always done.
Cut down?
Down like this.
PK and W Model Works. How's it going?
So I don't know. I was going to watch. I haven't watched Mike's video yet on that. See what he put into it. But And I did check. OVR is out of stock of these ones here that I have. They didn't have any stock at the
Hey,
moment.
there's another Canadian still awake.
Who's
Digger.
Oh, Digger, yeah. He was on
Boxcar Jerry.
Jerry's live earlier. And
It's late for Digger over there.
Rail Arson's here. Our good Sparky is 107. 107's in the chat.
Sparky 107, 107, and Brad's Trains.
Yeah, but Sparky, I can always deliver you donuts.
Are you getting in Punchkis for tomorrow? It's Punchki Tuesday.
We're going to the church for pancakes. If you
Okay, tomorrow Pancake Tuesday.
Well, I gotta watch it, Mike.
We're gonna make you some pancakes.
I saw the post and I went and talked with Jerry.
And I just seen him, Sean Pennywise. How's it going?
Yeah. But that's why I've always held these things. It's like this.
Howdy, gents.
But
howdy, y'all. Everybody saying hi to each other. So what do you got going on tonight?
Well, I did some horse trading.
I could use a trim.
Trim?
But I don't know if you want to use the clippers there. Might dull the blade.
I got clippers in the other room if you want.
Yeah.
Horizontal.
Who's horizontal?
I always go vertical.
Horizontal.
I've always cut it.
Maybe he's saying he's horizontal because he's laying down watching her.
Maybe.
Having a nap. Get ready to fall asleep. Because it's late over there.
Hey, PK and W Markham. Yes, I did some horse trading on the weekend.
You did some horse trading?
Yeah, well, I bought. I had a bunch of cars that my neighbor wanted.
I didn't know you were into horses.
Yeah, and he had a couple of locomotives that I wanted, and another buddy of mine had a couple of rolling stock that I wanted, so I bought them off him.
Thanks, buddy.
And so I unboxed one of these. Are Athearn Go.
Athearn Go?
Yeah. What is the road name of these? These are an F59 PHI. So these are horses are on the track. Yeah. Horses.
Yeah, I don't know if you seen that video. I was going through my. Here, I'll tell you a little story about this.
Okay.
I was going through my studio on my lunch break today.
Yeah.
Why is that video in private? I'm like, it should be in private. That was a video I did at Amherst. So then I unclicked it in private and put it public.
Yeah.
And next, I'm like, well, I better watch this video because I know I was walking the Amherst show with Ray, Mom and Son.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, this thing is sideways. I'm like, what the heck? But YouTube, like when you do a stream on what's the other one we use, James?
Oh, Prism.
Yeah. I start my phone sideways.
Yeah.
And when I did lives on YouTube before, I started it sideways.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize when I was walking around half the show, my camera sideways, or my phone, it was recording it sideways instead of like the look of straight up and down.
Right.
So I don't know if it did the whole thing, but anyways, I fired it out because I had a great time with Ray.
Yeah.
Walking around the show, I had an awesome time. Yeah, Ray was with me from Mom and Son. Had a blast with Ray, and so I never really seen that video until today.
But apparently,
I told Curly.
Yeah.
Curly said, "Hey, your video's sideways," and I said, "Oh, just turn your TV sideways, and then you'll be able to watch it better."
But apparently, Apple or YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
So if you run your phone like this and you're doing horizontal, they're making your video look like this. Because last week when I was doing testing with the camera here, and I was using the phone. I sent a link to my phone for a camera,
Yeah.
and I could not get that video to show like this. It insisted to go like this.
Yeah.
And
So
then
if
it
you
went
do go
to,
live on your phone on YouTube, you
yeah.
have to do it like this. You can't do it sideways like you used to. You have to do it like this
So then,
because they're forcing you to do shorts.
yeah, and so I only want to use for the camera.
Yeah. So I'll have to download that video off my phone.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I got it in the phone still.
Mm-hmm.
Put it to Filmora.
Yeah.
And see if I could turn the video.
Yeah.
Good.
Well,
Film
I
editor.
want that, but then the phone automatically went to what's the Safari. So, and I had YouTube open in the background. I couldn't get rid of. I had to cancel the video on Safari completely, and it killed everything. So I couldn't get in to change to get the sound out of the way.
Right.
So it just double fighting me right from the get go. So I give up on that. And then today I was trying with cameras. I was able to access Logic Capture on StreamYard. But as soon as I hooked up those cameras, I lost access to the cameras the other way. And eventually I had to reboot anything. So it didn't matter. It just died.
Derek says I called him Rick the whole time.
I heard you had to zigzag through the show with Ray.
Yeah. It was hard to keep up to Ray. He was just a going. He was having a good old time there at the show.
You gave Tammy a big break.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed it. It was great meeting everybody there, that's for sure.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. That was good. It was a good show. I still haven't watched all the videos.
Mm-hmm. Curly says I did too.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. And so my neighbor, who's a train guy, he's been doing trains he's 92. He's been doing trains for over 70 years. So he had a bunch of these Athearn stuff, and an Athearn, two Athearns, True Lines, and an Atlas.
Yeah.
So I bought off him the True Lines GP40, the Atlas GP40, and two of the F59's Athearn.
Oh, nice.
And I turned around and sold the True Lines to a friend of mine to help cover the cost of these. Cause I didn't want two F40 GP40s.
You didn't want two?
No, I just wanted the one. I just wanted the one GP40. That was fun.
Uh-oh.
So I did that, and I gave him I think 10 Concours CN Passioner cars.
Right.
Need versus want. We want, yeah. Oh, I want, but I didn't want everything.
Yeah, I was surprised you split up too. Hey, Sadie.
Yeah, so we did a bit of trading that way. So I was happy with that. And I shared one of them with somebody else who wanted one. So that was
Somebody
good.
want to say hi, James.
Hey, Sadie.
You saying hi?
Yeah. His ear needs cleaning. Good.
Yeah.
You're right.
Watch him.
So we traded, and I was happy with that. I unboxed my Broadway today, actually. My THB Hudson 501. I was running that today. That's a nice locomotive.
That's
I think cool. I'm not sure if I'll keep. I have it in a Hudson too, in a New York Central version too. I'm not sure I'm gonna keep both.
Cool.
But it ran good. Hey, Bernard, welcome.
Mini Prince, how's it going? It's the small things that matter.
That's right. I did find some of my mini prints I bought before.
Where'd that go?
Hi, Dr. Mini.
Oh, I can't do it. Gloves on? What the heck?
So I was horsing around with my. I set my paint booth up and my airbrush. So I was playing around with that today, mixing up craft paint.
Yeah.
Thinning it to spray, and that worked pretty good.
You're making cement?
Well, this is the abutment I built for the bridge. So I did two of these. So I sprayed around with colors and getting ideas what looks best. So I did these two here, and these are going to support the deck, which is over
Hey,
here.
Laura, how are you?
Hey, Laura,
Mark's asleep.
Mark's asleep.
Well, I did Ballston last Wednesday, so
So this is the deck platform for the bridge. So there's where the track, the saw cuts is where I'm going to mount the girders.
okay.
And the girders should be done this week.
Okay. The guy from London, 3D
Yeah.
printing them.
Yes, he's doing a nice job on that. So he's working on that. Yeah, so I was just playing around with that. I put this little on the track. But yeah, I mixed up my own paint. So I have a thinner. There's a YouTuber called Barnabas Rex, and he has a recipe on his website, on his YouTube channel, for mixing thinner for craft paints.
Nice. Hey,
So I
Len
mixed
McCurry.
it up, and it works pretty good. But you need a thin craft paint really good to spray properly. Do you like running trains on the scale? What kind of scale?
On,
I run HO 95% of the time. I do have some N scale. I usually bring it out during Christmas, that kind of stuff. I do have
Lily's on too. How are you, Lily? And
Hey, Colin, welcome. Another UKer in the chat.
Colin?
Yeah, so it worked out pretty good. I got a bunch of other colors I've experimented, trying to find something that comes close to concrete. There's so many different variables of it. So this is nothing fancy. It's just wood. I can keep painting several coats on it, and eventually fills in the wood pores.
Yeah.
This has got about 4 or 5 coats on now, I guess.
That'll wake him up.
Oh yeah, then they can go lick his ear.
Yeah.
Hey,
Give him
Dad,
too many
I want to
cookies,
go
you
for
have
a
the
walk.
nap, you know what I'm
Can you
saying?
get up?
Hey, James, you give him too many cookies early, and now he's having a nap on you.
Yeah, he didn't come and have a cookie either. He didn't even grab one.
No?
No. Marky was MIA.
That would wake him up for sure.
Yeah, I have to mail him a cookie.
So what's long weekend coming up? Canadian long weekend, American long weekend.
Yep. Saturday I wanted to go to the Barrie Train Show, but I also forgot that we were getting together with my daughter and the grandkids for their birthday.
All right.
My Nancy's stepbrother, his girlfriend flew in from Salt Lake City tonight.
All right.
So we're heading down tomorrow to help her get a car, rent a car for the week. She's up here from Salt Lake City. Hey, Thomas Grasses, she's here for a week, so we're going to help them out tomorrow with a car because she doesn't have a credit card, just cash.
Uh-oh.
And they couldn't feed cash through the phone.
Then where's she from?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
Ooh.
So she's flying in. She should be in Toronto now.
Ah.
Yeah, hey, Sean's going. Yeah, that's how I was going to go with Sean, but because of family commitments and this, I couldn't do it.
Dave, how's it going?
And
bacon's in the house. I like mine crispy.
Bacon's in the house?
Yeah, Dave,
Our good buddy Dave?
Yeah, didn't you see him?
Let's go back.
Said hi, James.
You're so fast.
Well, the chat's going fast today.
There he is.
John Benecki.
There's our buddy Dave John Benecki is here. Hey, John, welcome.
Who else had popped in?
Sean.
Who else you miss?
Laura. Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, that chat goes fast. You gotta be on the ball.
Oh, I know. It's like a rabbit.
John Carvin and John Benecki.
Who died? I didn't die. Yeah, so that's where I've been in that. As far
Ooh,
as the
that
layout is concerned, I need the bridge to complete the loop. But another issue I have, my crossover on the right hand side of the layout, I damaged that putting it in the beginning. I was going to buy a new one. Well,
Right.
Walters is not going to have any new stock until May. So I decided and then checked into availability of number 8 turnouts. And Lauren told me he's bringing them in on next import. So I decided to make the sacrifice. I'm going to take out the number 6s
We put some
and
eights.
put in number 8s and create a bigger crossover with
Nice.
number 8s.
Nice.
So that part of the track is on hold until they come in.
Okay, gotcha.
Say, Siri, turn off the lights. What lights? You want lights off? I can
What'd
go.
you say? Siri shut the lights off and it shut.
I don't have any Siri on my light, okay?
Cancel.
That's
Cancel.
what I'm doing with the track layout.
As soon as I said that, now my phone's going all crazy.
Well, mine's. So I'm going to retake out the number 6 crossovers.
Yeah.
And put in number 8 turnouts and create a crossover.
Ooh, nice.
With number 8s. And I'll increase. See, that section of track. When I put it in, I had to adjust the track narrower because the crossovers were 2-inch track centers. I have everything else in 2.5.
Oh wow.
So now I'm gonna take that section of cork up and relay the cork to 2.5 inch across the board.
Oh wow. Thomas, why is your order in Chicago? She can go to Chicago from here.
I don't have any Siri. My lights are on manual switches. I got a thumb.
Yeah. I got none of that smart technology.
No, I don't want it. I do not want it. I have a wireless remote control for a light in the kitchen because it was easier where the switch was located.
I shut her down.
That's it.
Shut her down. Right?
So other than that, did some horse. So a friend of mine, he had a couple of bulkheads I bought off him.
That's
So
crazy.
this is the Burlington Northern,
Right.
$15.
15.
And this is the BNSF,
That's cheap.
$15. Yeah, well,
$15.
a friend, you know. It's a friend. This will go with my heritage train.
I would have charged you double.
Nice friend you are. Jeez.
Nah, I wouldn't have done that.
Anybody want a friend for sale? I'm selling them cheap.
I would have given you a deal.
Yeah, I would have. You would give it to me. But yeah, these are. I don't know what vintage these are, but they're Athearn yellow box.
Oh, nice.
So bulkheads. They're metal wheels, not KD couplers. I guess they're browns. It must be the McHenry couplers.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're easy to change. But that's pretty. So that one there is that puppy, and the other one is the Burlington Northern. The deck is painted brown.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Whew. That stuff stinks. What who's live Wednesday night?
Maybe Thomas. No, that's the Cab Crew Wednesday. Well, he's on at 9.
Yeah, he's at 9.
Yeah, so this is
Who's Cab Crew this week? Anybody know?
There's like that. Mark's awake. Hey, Mark, welcome. We missed you.
Oh, it must have been the dog. The too many cookies or the big dessert he had after supper.
Hey, John Train, BFGR, welcome.
John, how are you?
So, yes, that's my big purchases, really. So we're making a road trip to Otter Valley Railroad in the first weekend of March.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, March.
It doesn't matter what day. I'm gonna come in and
Just not April.
Double Darrow's in. Derail Darrow.
Derail there. Okay.
Mark, you're never late.
Never late.
Never late.
Just
You're
fashionably on time. That's what I call it. Fashionably on time.
He's
Gotta have them naps every once in a while.
I had a nap today. It's easy.
I could have had one there tonight, but I went to the gym.
I watch TV with the work.
Huh? Hey, Delmarva, rail fan.
Hey,
How's it
welcome.
going?
Welcome to it. Hey, PKM, welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was doing, so I haven't done much in the layout other than that. I've been cleaning up, trying to find things, put things away, trying to organize this workspace.
Right.
Getting the airbrush set up. I have 2 airbrushes, Derek.
You got 2, so I got, I think, 4s.
I have the.
Sometimes you gotta get extras going.
Well, I have the Grex system.
I got this. I got this over at Hobby Lobby.
What is it? It's a tank.
No, it's airbrush weathering paints.
Is that by AK?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got this is AK here. I bought this. This is number 4111. It's called Crusted Rust Deposits.
Yeah.
So I was gonna dab this on the corners around the abutment.
Mm.
But I'm also thinking of getting some sprues.
Sometimes 4.
Too. Yeah, I got. The other one's here. It's this is the other one here. This is the Grex.
I got all kinds of colors in this bad boy.
Yeah.
108. What's 108?
I don't know. But I only got installed the 3mm needle so far. I do have a 2mm. I bought from Lee Valley last year when they were, because they were stopping the system. So I bought a 2mm before he ran out. But I'm not sure about a 5mm. I don't think I would do a lot of using primer.
You see, why you change out your needles?
Yeah, well, if you want to do fine detail,
yeah,
you need a 2mm. If you want to do primer, a 5mm. And what it, Brad? That crab paint sweet is a good color for concrete. Okay, I gotta look for what brand is that one there at Brad's Trains. I'll look for that.
The craft paint.
Suede, it's called.
Suede. Okay.
Yeah, I need to know a brand.
Not like your suede shoes, but your suede.
Suede paint. S-U-E-E.
I've been trying.
I used the color I used today is what's called Sand Gray. It's by Deco Art. And I was playing around with another gray on top of that, and it was steel gray. So that's what I was using today. Hey, Mr. Lauren OBR. So that's what I did.
True Colors. Lauren, how are you?
And I was chatting with another. I don't have a YouTube channel, but he's on the OBR's. As Matt Chapman. He's building a big layout. We were chatting back and forth the other day.
Okay.
He's built a shed. It's 75 feet long. He lives in Chatham.
That's a Sparky train shed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He hasn't got any trains in it yet.
No.
No. No. But I unboxed my.
Orange
I actually unboxed my one the other day of the Rapido Go passenger trains that I bought
Okay.
from OVR. Was it last year we got them, or the year before? I forget.
2 years ago.
Yeah, I know, Lauren. We've been chatting back and forth about that. You still work on the painting?
Still working on painting.
Yeah, he's doing the interior of the shed, and he's running power by extension cord right now.
Hey, Sadie.
But yeah,
Dark brown. Mm.
Michael's called Cocoon. I gotta check it out.
Cocoon.
The color called Cocoon. It's a milk paint. Great concrete color.
Okay, I'm gonna check that one out because I use chalk paint in the spray can. We were talking about that earlier. But you don't
Well,
want to use
I mix up my own thinners, and I mix this up. In fact, I got 2 jars of it. I made it up. You can buy these jars. They're for their paint.
Oh, Mike's looking for that bad boy. I'm thinking sometime in March, I believe.
Oh, and I'm not in a hurry for it. So I'm okay. So I mixed these up today, and the only thing I found about craft paint, you need to make sure it's thin quite well.
Oh, you put that in the airbrush?
What's that?
You put that in the airbrush?
Yeah.
Oh.
I always set down that in the airbrush.
Yeah, I always use airbrush paint.
Well, for doing big stuff and playing around with color, I craft paint. But I think as far as the paints, I prefer Tamiya.
Yeah,
This is my go-to paint. But there's another brand out there that I and it's called Mr. Hobby. I think it's a clone of Tamiya.
Okay.
That's good for my budget. I only use Vallejo for thinners. I have not used their paint yet. Right now, Mr. Lobby, because I can get this across the street from the house.
Right.
Wants to be my Valentine. Where's your wife, Lauren? So I bought a couple of those from the Dundas Hobby.
Papa John's on.
And dark sea gray. But yeah, so that's what I've been using. But I buy the pre-made thinner for the Tamiya paint, the X28 thinner. I've never tried my homemade thinner on the Tamiya paint. Trackside Mike is in Miami. He wishes he was in Miami.
He's reading your banner that's going across the bottom. I'm in your banners and I'm like,
I do have some Craft Mart paint. Mission Model. I haven't seen that one up here yet, Chris. I gotta check. There's a store. There's a store in Markham that specializes in craft and paints, but they're too far away to go window shopping. That's the only problem. And their color charts online are not the best.
Hey, who put that in your banner? These two guys are Third Rail Thursday.
These two guys are third. Oh, we're the new replacement crew, I guess.
I just went through your banners here, and I'm like, what the heck? Mini Prints, Wednesday at 7. First Wednesday of the month.
Yes.
Oh, boy. So, M&M Rails is live this week on Thursday. Yeah.
He's going to start early.
Man. He's starting early.
He is, yeah, he said so. Because he had a nap today, so he's got to rest. He's rested.
Chris says you guys fight Mark for it.
I'm gonna go check. Next time we head up to Michael's, I will check it out.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's Dave
Will
Cole.
too. I'm hulking up. Mm.
Mm. So yeah.
That was a quick workout tonight. I only did an hour because we had to go live.
Chris, you're not MIA. I talked to you earlier. I'm going live next Thursday. Thank you.
Oh, aren't you this week? Because I was told by a little birdie you were live this week.
Yeah. Yeah. What's he gonna paint?
What's he painting?
I don't know. What you painting?
I'm weathering some locomotives, some GP40s.
Okay, I'm not doing any weather in GP40s.
You well, I thought you were working on showing us something on your test bench, sir.
Well, I'm gonna show you my Go. This is Go via. Let me. I got this camera choice. See if you won't see much, but I'll turn it around. This is my. This is an Athearn F59. This is an older version.
I should ask Lauren if he's still in the chat. Has he still got these in stock?
No, he's still there.
Had a bunch of these at OVR. 187 scale.
I have one. I have a couple of those. OVR.
I got the loader, the track repair, the front end loader.
I think that the loader.
The excavator. Doing a little digging.
So I picked up two of these Athearn. I traded my neighbor for them. And some cash.
Oh, somebody left the heater on in their office.
Not me.
James, what's the big change?
Oh, I can't show you from here, Thomas. I'm afraid to say.
Oh.
I can talk about it. The cameras are not in that area. I damaged my number 6 crossover, and I don't trust it. So they get a new one. Walters won't have new number 6s till the end of May. So I decided to take out the number 6 crossovers and put in number 8 turnouts and create a crossover at the number 8s. Change my track center in that part of the track to 2.5 inches. I ordered the number 8s via OVR. They'll be in sometime next import. So when we go down, hopefully in March, I will be hoping to pick them up. And Lauren is hiring. If you're local to the store and you want a job, go see Mr. Lauren.
Oh, nice. I'm too far and I work Monday to Friday.
I'm too far and I don't work. So that's what I'm doing, Thomas. I'm putting in number 8s for my rear section of my layout.
What was I going to say?
Yeah, I could, Derek.
Oh, Heath's in the chat. Ooh.
Our good buddy Heath's in the chat. Oh, we go.
Yeah.
Hey,
Heath.
So that's the change I did for that.
Geez, I just made a mess of that.
Pay for what, Mark? You should donate your time.
James, you have already ripped up the track and starting over? No, I think.
No, I'm just going to change the. I'm only changing the one track.
Yeah.
I'm just going to move it over a half an inch.
Just a switch?
Well, I'm gonna take the two switches out and put the new in place. So I have to do a bit of track work.
Yeah.
But I'm only gonna change the cork on the outside track.
Okay.
Just gonna make it 2.5-inch centers.
Right.
That's all I'm doing. They'll give me a better transition for passenger cars on the crossover. Because I don't, my track's not glued down. I just got it spiked. One leg at a time. So,
One leg. That's what I said.
yeah. So, but I can't get my loop done until I get the bridge. I'm working on that. And the guy in London is 3D printing the guardrails, the girders for that. I have a picture here. I can see if I can find it, and I'll show you on the camera here what they look like. So
Always repeat and rinse. Yeah, that works.
So there's what the girders look like from the 3D image. That's the 3D image of what he's printing.
Number 8s are better.
Oh yeah, I think numbers are much better. But at the time I did my layout, I thought the crossovers number 6s were the good thing. You learn you learn as you go.
Be a couple guys that want to do the remote.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to do remote. Yeah.
But the trains are in the store, in Tilsonburg. If you want to remote ship them, how do you pick them off the shelf? Robots? Oh yeah, Heath paid for nothing. That's right. That's Heath for you. I'll make you bigger, Mike.
Why? I'm just painting.
I know.
Painting and watch.
There you go. You're bigger. Yeah. So I'm gonna just hate to get a cork out, and the number 8's in. Done deal. You get my bridge finished, and I'll have my loops done. That's all I'm waiting for. So that's not 4777, right?
No, it's 99454.
Well, I have 4777.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just giving her light weather.
Welcome to Otter Valley. Please don't leave empty-handed. Izzy line is. Not going to scare anybody away. Mark's a nice guy. He attracts customers. So what do you use for weathering for the weather? What kind of paint?
I use AK rust and dirt brown.
Oh, so you're using that paint you just bought in the airbrush?
No, this is stuff I got.
Okay.
So
I've never airbrushed that
right now.
Yeah, that's right. Parking ballet. That's my job.
Oh, pop-up event? Yeah.
But they bring me pizza and I'm sitting out there, though, I tell you.
So I just do it so it's like splashing up. I don't know how good it does on camera, but
Chris wants to know what brand of airbrush are you using?
oh geez. The box is in the train shop.
Okay.
I got a compressor
Chris,
and everything.
mine's a Grex.
Oh, it's a master airbrush.
Okay. Mine's a Grex.
I got a Grex, a master, and I think 2 masters.
Yeah. I haven't bought any for a while, so I'm doing pretty good.
But these they work pretty good.
Yeah. All I know is with crop paint, make sure you gotta thin it out correct. Thin it out. But the mixing the thinner for the crop paint, all I use is distilled water, alcohol, airbrush flow improver, and some retarder. But
Right.
I mix my own, and the cleaner is another combination. It's Barnabas Rex. He's a YouTuber. I got that from him. If you check most of the YouTube channels about homemade brews for thinner and cleaner, they're all pretty well the same.
Yeah.
It's rubbing alcohol if you. Yeah, I just got some retarder, Lauren, from across the road. Heath, it's rubbing alcohol. If you want to suck it back, I'll send you a bottle.
Rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, that's what 91 stuff is. Rubbing alcohol. Hey, Hunter Stewart, welcome.
Hey, Hunter, how's it going? Just cleaning it out. I just use a little bit. I say I'm just giving this one a light weather.
It's going to take a long while to heat to get to you, Lauren. Okay, Sean, thanks for dropping in. Have a good time on Saturday at the Berry Show.
Okay, Sean. Yeah, Saturday I will be heading to Deshler, Ohio.
Heath, I didn't create the stuff.
Do some rail fanning. Anybody want to go to rail fanning?
There's rubbing alcohol compound if you want to get technical. Hey, Robert Flying Crow, welcome.
Hey, Robert.
And
light rust or rust? Let's do a light rust. See you in Barry. Who's going to Barry? Boomer had some great videos on using Tamiya's. Yeah, I like Tamiya paints.
I do like Tamiya. It does spray nice.
Yeah.
My thinner is home brewed for my paint, but the alcohol is bought in a jug, in a bottle.
That's usually how I get it.
I haven't used the Vallejo yet. I've used their flow improver, but I haven't tried their paint out yet. You want to come up there, Mr. Lord? We can give you. I can put a link in the thing.
Here's a light rust. Give the handrails. A bit of splash up.
Yeah. But I think I got now 9 passenger cars of the Rapido vintage of 54 scheme.
Definitely not the Wade Kelly Express weathering, but I don't mind trying these ones.
Hey, John, 2618. Yeah, it's getting dirty.
My Gevos and stuff, I'll take the Wade.
Mine are clean and shiny. Hey, Mr. Lord.
Heavy on the weather.
Hey, James. Hey, James. Hey, Trackside.
What's going on?
So, I want to make some suggestions there, Mikey.
Yeah.
You should do soot and up in certain spots. You should do road pickup from middle of the cab down,
Yeah.
and then you should do the caustic soda right around where they clean it. So you're going to want to add a little bit of burn marks in the top parts.
Yeah.
So to put perspective on something like that, James, someone
Yeah.
like, say, Rob Arsenal, he
Yeah.
would do 6 different layers of weathering and then seal it.
Mhm.
Seal it.
Then seal it.
That one, Wade Kelly does that much, doesn't he?
Yeah, and a lot of it will actually they'll do disassembly. I'm not a big disassembly guy. There's ways around it, but you got to be very patient.
Yeah.
That's why some guys will do the patches and they'll do the sponges.
Okay, I wouldn't do it at all because I could not see the detail to get it apart. But I am going to attempt one locomotive.
There always is concern you're disassembling, James, especially if it's an older model and you snap apart and you're going to be SOL.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I have an Atlas TP40, and I'm gonna put in a soundtrack 8-pin decoder, which you have on your website.
Yep.
And I'm gonna pop that in and test it out. That'll be my first attempt. I won't touch any of the bigger, newer stuff. No, I won't come here. I can't see it. Not a point in me breaking it. Doesn't matter. I could not see it. I can't see the detail work. So why worry about detail? I can't see it.
Yeah.
And
This is stuff I get from OVR. Panel liner.
Taco sauce is the correct term.
Yeah. Taco
Now,
sauce.
see,
Taco.
a friend of mine in Dundas, he has a part-time hobby store, and he's a dealer for Tamiya. So I get all that stuff that if I wanted it below cost, but
Yeah.
he's down the street from me. He just makes his main business is selling blinds. He makes enough money to survive a week, and he sells more blinds. But he's more really an English dealer for trains.
Okay.
So all the panels I do in panel liner, that's all been already done.
Yeah.
All right.
I never used it before. I'm gonna try it though. It's a good way to add any detail to you got lines that flows around it. I have not done much experimenting and painting for at least 2 years.
All right. Who would like to hear the plight of my importing truck? Who would like to hear the story of that?
I want to hear this story.
All right. So on the day of the 20, was it 26, Mike?
When
What
we
day
went
was
down,
Was it 26?
26.
Or was
Thursday.
it no, 25th. 25th.
25th.
Friday. It was a Friday, right?
No, Thursday night.
Thursday
So
night.
I cleared customs, got through Batavia, and just past Batavia, I started to have some shuddering, and then my hanger bearing dropped on my drive shaft, and I was able to quickly pull off at the turnoff at Scottsville.
Yeah.
CA picked the truck up. I disconnected the trailer and the hitch and the package, and then I waited for the boys for a good solid 2.5 hours.
Seemed like an hour.
No, it was a lot more than that, Mike. Trust me. It was an hour after my phone died. Put it that way. And
Oh, you lost your phone too?
the phone
Well, yeah,
died.
no truck to charge it.
Well, what are you gonna do, James? You're sitting there with a trailer and a hitch, praying that they don't drive by your turnoff.
Well, I saw some of your posts on Facebook waiting for customs paperwork, and
Customs paper was good. I mean, they were good. Claire's situation, Claire went to the border and they weren't filed, so he had to go back. And then when he went back across, they were good. So anyway, they towed it to a shop up in Rochester. They were good about it, but the part wasn't available for about 5 days after. So Mike was gracious enough to pick me up and take me to the show and then bring me home with the trailer. So we got the truck yesterday. We started off with the truck wouldn't start. We figured that they left the door partially open and the battery went dead. So we jumped it. It was fine. We went and had some barbecue, came back, started the truck, drove home, got through customs. Customs didn't understand how I got across the border without the truck and why my truck was over America for 2 weeks. They didn't recognize the tow note from CAA plus the repair bill, which was massively awkward.
Yeah.
That dry shaft or the E joint is like the whole dry shaft, hanger bearing and all.
Yeah. So got through customs, did that. Followed Chris back home to Welland because my friend Chris Wright, who if anyone's ever saw his videos and pictures on Facebook, he's got a beautiful layout in the main areas in the 80s.
Yeah.
We had a good day. Then I got Pullman Highway 3 and the caliper on the left driver's back brake went at Cayuga. I was able to somehow make it home to Simcoe, and we got to change out the caliper before next week because I'm going to pick up the new truck and do the trade-in. So
Oh,
at this point, you might hear a story of a local man sets his truck on fire, but I'm hoping not.
no.
But we
Well, I
call that
remember
that's
last
lightning.
year you guys went to Barrie and you were talking. You're in a blizzard. So I
Was it-
guess it's a different.
Was it a blizzard? There was four semi trucks killed of the 400 in the median. We couldn't get off the road. Stevie's like, oh, I'm like, let's just worry about enough gasoline in the truck, let alone you living here on the truck. Like he's ball petrified. It got to like minus 40 that Saturday night, Mike. We're unloading and Steve's furious.
So
Yeah.
I guess, Lauren, February and January is your adventure months of the year.
I really want to go to Barrie, but I no, and I don't. I got to get the import. I got to clean up some loose ends. I'm really disappointed we can't go. I really am.
Yeah.
Got to get the ride.
I know a lot of people are not happy with us not going, and I Barrie is the only show on the Ontario calendar that I love doing.
I heard it's a good show. I wanted to go too, but I have family commitments that I need to deal with.
So, but yeah, we're kind of just pausing to deal with that, and then, as for Super Train, we are going to Super Train. We are working on another friend to go with us, but right now we have 2 tickets to go out of Kitchener to Calgary.
Cool.
So we're going to go to Super Train the 19th, 20th, and then we're going to fly back on the 21st. And then I have nothing else planned yet. Everything else is too far off in the ways. So I need either more samples or more stuff to justify another trip. But
Whoa.
I'm hoping.
Hey. So first off, I want to answer Heath's comment. Throw that up there, okay?
This one.
Second off, I have nothing wrong with Lionel. So you stop that little L crap right there, Heath. Okay? He's my friend, and I don't appreciate that. Second off, the show was good. I was very happy to be at the show. If anything, Mike, I think we learned a lot. The more we can do for next year.
Yeah.
I might go. I hope to go to Super Train next year, not this year.
James, why don't you just go with our crew?
When?
For Amherst. We're looking at getting another room, which means 2 to 3 more people with us.
You got to get a passport.
I don't have a passport. I have no desire to get one. I'm nothing against you. I just don't want to go. I don't see the interest for me. I'd rather be home with my wife and here.
Show of a lifetime.
I know. It's okay.
Politely, James, every train show after Amherst you'll consider it a dump. I'm not going to lie.
I haven't been to a train show since you were at, I saw you at Ancaster 3 years ago. So.
Oh my God, James, you're like,
yeah.
Chris is in there.
That Ancaster show's got nothing on Amherst.
I know.
There's more trains in the bathroom at Amherst than at the Ancaster train show.
When I went there, I spent $20 on a River Rossi passenger car, and now I don't need it because I got all my repeater.
Here's my soapbox for the night.
Okay.
Amherst should be a must for anybody in the hobby, whether you're a rail fan, whether you're a lifelong 187 person, whether you're an HO, NSO collector, heritage, love the historical societies, special interest groups, are interested in railroads in the Northeast. There's the short lines. Like when we were talking with Oren from Nantucket, who's one of our corporate customers. They run 2 days a week freight service, and then I think it's a dinner dance train or something like that,
Yeah.
Mike, or a dinner mystery train.
Yeah.
And Real Trains is part of their tourism in this part of the country. I can't buy the Walmart building. There's actually no, Mike. There's actually a closeout business that bought it. Remember?
Oh yeah. That would be neat. Though.
Which Walmart building is that, Lauren?
The one by Harvey's.
It was actually at one time, James.
Well,
it was a Wokel. If everyone in the chat is old enough that remembers Wokel, it actually was originally at Wokel.
Yeah.
Is that the one in Woodstock area?
No.
Tillsburg, James.
No, my father-in-law used to live there, and we used to always drive by the old Wokel to get to this place.
If you know anything about Walmart going into Canada, they bought Wokel to get into Canada.
That's right.
Yeah. But
Hey, Stuart.
That would be a good shot.
Yeah.
Hey, how you guys doing?
What's the good word out in the Delta? What's the good word out in the Delta?
Well, you know what? Club's doing quite well out here. Delta's just humming along, and for those naysayers that say the hobby is slow and on the way out, I challenge that with the amount of young folks that we have at our club and membership increasing. So that is a big deal for us.
It's like the classic thing.
How is the hobby?
It's like the classic thing, Stuart. The story of my demise is long foreshadowed. The reality is I'm not deceased. Move on. It's the story of the hobby.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, Springfield had a lot of young guys coming up to us under 40, interested in our cars, what we were building, wanted to chat with me. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of salt and pepper in the hobby and a lot of no pepper in the hobby. But that's with any hobbies. I mean, I can't imagine if you're going to a classic car show buying car parts or you're on a golf course.
Right. Yeah. I think the one thing is that everyone needs a hobby, something to do, right? You need to be able to focus and decompress, and that's one of the things that helps me is decompress with a hobby. And Model Trains has actually done well for me that way, right?
Oh.
I think the big goal for us as people that have been in the hobby is to prevent the hobby from being stuffy for new modelers, to be open to what interests they have and not narrow the selection. A lot of clubs and a lot of groups will put their focus defined, and having that ability to have that focus defined is great, but also having those options where you have club nights where it's, I wouldn't say you'd run everything but junk, but there's freedom of mobility. I think that's really important because if younger guys like modern stuff or specific.
Yeah.
Now I met guys half my age that all they do is 1950 steam. So.
And that's okay, right? I one of the things that our club's done is we do theme nights. So maybe it's passenger night. It's all diesel. It's all freight. So you get a mix. And with the layout that you have to, we've got young members that like diesel, and now we've got young members that are actually switching over to steam. And it's like, oh, okay, that's that's cool, right? So they're able to kind of try different.
Our club is basically runs loops. It's more relaxed. They just run a train, run a loop, and no operations. Speaking of train clubs and stuff like that, my layout will be part of the Haldeman layout tour on March 23rd.
It goes all the way to Dundas?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. They're asking me to be on the tour, and I'm like,
what's wrong with Dundas?
No. So here's the problem. Just listen to me on this one, James.
Yeah.
Brantford to Dundas, Brantford to Dover, Brantford to Norwich, Brantford to Tillsonburg, and Brantford to Cayuga.
Yeah.
That's a lot of area.
I know.
That's a lot.
Well, you're 104 kilometers from my door to your door. That's a long ways to a hobby store. Holy cow, if I can survive. That I know. I talked to the guys, and
I
they
can
said,
I can have a parcel in your house the next day, James. What's your
well,
point?
I know you could.
I'm trying to think. What's the big one there in Kitchener?
That's the
Wait.
double headers. So the
Oh,
double
yeah.
headers
That's in
goes
April.
it goes as far as Hespeler to as far as Innerkip to as north of Stratford and Baden to the north part of KW to the east of Guelph.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But if my memory serves me right, Mike, I think that is celebrating their 40th year.
Yeah. Now Sparky was involved in
He was on
that
a tour. He's been on the tour a couple times.
Yeah. Now, do you know Daryl Ireland?
Yep.
So I would talk to him, and he's part of the double headers too.
Yep.
And he belongs to the Brantford Club. He's going to the Barry Show.
Yeah.
But they asked for volunteers, and I volunteered there, and they hope to raise $2,000 for their club. So we'll see what they do, and they might. Apparently, there's a lot of people from the Hamilton area are heading for the tours,
Nice.
and every week or so they're posting or pictures of the layouts that they're going to have on the tour.
Yeah, they build up the excitement, which is what's great about the layout tours. What I was trying to say, James, is it's a big sweeping area, so not everyone's going to be able to see everything, and a lot of people will predetermine based on the booklet what they feel is appropriate for what their modeling or their interests are. And it's always interesting because you can see some of the guys that are not HO, and usually they'll complain or gripe that, hey, I didn't get that many people. Well, if you're not into N scale, you're not going to go see an N scale layout. Now, obviously, I say this in the nicest way. Everyone should go see all scales, all layouts when they're doing a tour, especially if it's a tour they do every year.
Yeah.
Generally, the new layouts get the highest pop. Now, the larger layouts that have consistent building and that, it's really interesting. There was a guy years ago in Baden. He's unfortunately passed away, but he was building a 4-story layout. And it had engineering trusses inside this house addition, and it was just like he went 60 feet, Mike. He went from 60 feet up. He had 7 helixes.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy, but he wanted to do this, this specific area. There's great layouts on there, and I would encourage everyone to go on it. It's a great tour. The Holmes tour, I believe that one's in April too, James.
Yes.
The Brantford layout tour, that's a great tour. I have been on it before. I don't think I'm going to be on it this year because I'm going through some bunch of stuff. But I would like
the Brantford tour, the one that I'm doing now. That one.
Yep.
Well, you're past the cutoff date now. Yeah, the cutoff date was the other week, I think.
Well, technically, it's actually this weekend coming up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I talked with Daryl, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. I've done it twice before, and then when we were on the farm, we had our layout in the London tour, which is another spring tour. See, the problem is if they have too many tours too close, and maybe Stuart, you can talk to this about the West Coast. If you have too many layout tours too close, you don't get a good attendance. So they have to be split up a bit, so that way people can find a weekend that's not family committed.
Right.
Yeah. No. Agreed. Yeah, you have to do that. You definitely.
The other
have
thing
to split
is,
it up.
out here in Southern Ontario too, James, all the tours are only Saturday. There's a few parts of Quebec and parts of Alberta they do Saturday and Sunday tours.
Yes.
But again, you run into the situation of people want Sunday off for church or a family day. So are you going to get that big of a crowd? But the train shows generally are solid on a Saturday if it's a Saturday-Sunday show. Usually Saturday is the better day of the two.
Well, I agree. I don't go to train shows very often on Sunday because I'm busy in church. I am there. I don't go, and to go to that time I went and saw you at the Ancaster show. We went to church on Saturday night, so I could have the morning free. And I was going to go to the Barry show, but I have family commitments, are my daughter and grandkids that I don't see very much. I thought was more important, so I did that. But
There
we'll
was,
see. I just offered because I know they were trying to raise money to help support the club, and I don't mind supporting a club. Usually, I take a lot of my older stuff. I don't feel like selling stuff. I donate to sell.
But they've been doing a lot of rebuild. They've been rebuilding the club. The Brantford club is actually, I think it's in a Quonset hut behind the house, if I remember serves me correctly.
It's like I've been there. It's like a oversized garage. It's in a chunk of land that somehow it got severed by a couple of lawyers way back when.
I think the lawyers were. I think the lawyers were part of the club.
That's right. So it's landlocked. You can never sell it. You can never sell it because it's in a bad spot. Because they have to share the access to the driveways to the house in front of it. But they have a decent layout and they do operations and they're always improving it. I went there last year for their garage sale.
Okay.
And I picked up. They had a couple of River Rossi CN cars.
Okay.
The 54 scheme that I've been working on collecting, and I get too many of them now, so I give a bunch away because now I have my the Rapido stuff, which I like very well, and I was running my Rapido ones I got from you the other day, and they're fantastic locomotives. They're beautiful. I got the A and the B, and I have the cars go with it. Great. So. Eventually, I'll run my Leo. When I get my number 8s in, they'll even run better.
I'm working on that file right now, James. Rest assured, you're number one on my number one priority list.
Yeah. So me and Mike are coming to the store in March because I need to buy supplies for the bridge.
Yeah.
And I'm a visual guy, so I don't know what to buy. So Mike is going to help me pick out what I need.
Oh, James, don't worry. Just put your credit card down the front counter and we will help you. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I know that.
I'll show you how to work the cart.
Yeah, we will fill up a bathtub full of buildings and a shopping cart full of track, and you will be like, "Dear, I'm never leaving the basement. Just slide the food through the shaft, and we're good."
Pay my credit card off. Thanks. You're a nice guy.
I always think about your needs, James. Don't be like that.
Okay, so you think of my needs. You're gonna pay my credit card for me. Thanks, Lauren.
I'll put you on the layaway plan. How's that?
Yeah, right.
He needs some number 8 switches, is what he needs.
He needs a dozen of each side.
That's right.
I went to 2 stores a year and a half ago, and I cleaned them all out of Walter's turnouts.
Well, there was a shortage for a while, James. That did happen.
I know there is. Don't remind me much. Yeah, I did. I bought them all. In fact, someone's going to buy my number 4s because I don't need the number 4s.
You know, a very successful turnout that has done well for us is the Pico Insulfrog or Pico Electrofrog or Unifrog. Those turnouts have been done really well for all scales of in that realm. If you're going from HO, bulletproof. Those things work well. Yeah.
Well,
hey, this is coming from the same guy who has a 42 by 36 foot layout with one set of wires. Mike, I'm not lying, am I?
No bus wires, just 2 feeders. That's it.
That's it. And a 42 by 36 foot layout.
My temporary layout right now is running on 2 feeders. I'm testing your theory.
Once you start painting it, and once you start putting glue to it, then you have a problem. That's the reality.
Yeah.
But mine is down until I'm happy with the plan, and I finish out a couple industrial build outs, and then I'll start doing it.
So Stuart.
Yeah.
So about the Pico Unifrog, I changed my layout to all Walters because I was not very impressed with the Pico Unifrogs.
Okay.
They were. I took 3 back to the store because they were defective. 3 of them because they were constructed.
So I'm gonna put that theory to question, James. Don't get mad.
Yeah.
Define to me how they were defective, because I've heard this story before, and then I showed underneath how you actually clean the brushing. So tell me how they were defective.
There was brass clips that held the throw bar on,
Yep.
and they fell off.
On the
Literally,
83 or the 100?
they fell apart in my hands. 3 of them.
On which scale? 83 or 100?
83. Code 83.
They were
That's okay.
likely SLU 8364s or 65s probably.
They were Unifrogs. Brand new, just came out.
Yeah, SLU meaning Unifrog.
That's exactly.
Yeah, the new ones they brought out. I don't know what number they were. They were code 83, number 6 Unifrog.
Yeah. So just so everyone understands, during the pandemic, Pico streamlined their production and they got rid of Pico Code 83 and Electro, and they got rid of Pico Code 83 and Insulfrog and went to the Unifrog. And what that did was it allowed the consumer to choose either Electro or Insulfrog based on how they position the hot frog underneath the points of the turnout.
Yes.
That was it. They streamlined it because they were going through so much track they could not keep up. So they simplified their production.
Right.
Out of all the turnouts we sold during that entire period, which was probably close to 4,000 turnouts, I had about 4 or 5 go that either had a misjoint filed or that had what James described broke.
Yep.
But I will say this, and this is my, I got a brand new layout relatively, and it's all Pico Code 83, and I would never build anything but Code 83 with Shinohara ever again.
Yes, I agree. That was a big decision that we had to make as well, is going from that and Atlas as well. The Pico is there's over 30 switches in the layout, and that not including the yard, but all 30 switches in the layout is they're all Pico 83, either they're Electro or Unifrog.
Yeah.
And we only had on the Ys, which we had 2 Ys that were double back to each other before we could get a double cross. It was just the one of the rails that decided to go out of scale slightly, and that was it.
Yeah.
And we had to replace because of the equipment. But all of those switches, they have been rock solid. Nothing's gone wrong with them. We did replace one because of the wire had snapped off. It was the pin wire,
which is not uncommon.
No, and to spot solder that on is very, very difficult without heating up the rest of it and messing up the scale.
And I had that happen in my Walters double crossover.
Yeah,
the wire at the back was broken off. I had to resolder.
I just made a decision based on my experience with the Pico, and I went to Walters. And I like the Walters track, and I like their turnouts. So,
but I will say this, and this is another thing that I've noticed change from a supply line.
Yeah.
Pico is the only company in the Code 83 stream that will never fail you on fill. No. Every other company will fail you every time.
Yeah, I that part I can see that. Yes.
And I'll say this: when you're building a layout, you do not want to have there was a period where Pico had no track, and I had hordes of it, and I was shipping it all over the United States. And I shouldn't be shipping Pico track in the United States. I really shouldn't, but I was because they couldn't find it. Remember when I had about 300 crossovers, Mike? They all disappeared in a week because there was no more crossovers for like 8 months.
Yeah.
So what happens, and I say this, and Atlas is a great example. When Atlas gets tracking, it'll come in, and then you won't see it for 2 years. It's not good for the health of the hobby and for building if you've got to either hoard up or you got to wait for random supplies come back. And it can be very frustrating building.
Oh, yeah. But when my layout's done, I won't have to worry about it. I know there's a shortage of some stuff. Walter is one of them. But when I had a number 6 fail on me because of the spot well busted, Walters replaced it with no hesitation. They sent me a new one. Of course, they sent me the replacement wrong the first time, and they replaced it. But that's okay. But they did replace it, and I had to give them credit for that.
Pico
I'm-
will do the same.
But
They'll
I
probably do the
like
same.
the way the Walters track lays.
But I will
just
say,
like-
but I will say this, James, and you might not know the whole backstory. So Shinohara was handmade in Japan by a fourth generation family. They
Yep.
eventually got out of the business. And I told this story to Mike because when he came over the first time, he saw I had 8 curved turnouts of Shinohara, and he goes, well, "Where'd you get those bad boys?" I'm like, "I've been sitting on these for 10 years. Never came out of the package till I needed them."
Right.
After I started installing it, I couldn't get any more curved turnouts. So if I had pooched one of those turnouts, my entire layout would have been dead in the water.
Well, I agree, but here's another thing I discovered because I did buy. I bought a couple of you had some stock left over from them, and I bought them up on my last layout. And I did a design for the layout using the Shishara turnouts, but I didn't realize that they were not in stock. So I waited for a number. I think it was a 2024, which I got from your store, to put in the layout, and I discovered that curved turnout was different than the original Shirara. They changed the frogging.
And they changed the tie spacing too. So the original Shinohara is more prototypical than the current Walters Code 83. And I'll tell you why. It's done in a mold versus done by hand.
Yes.
Which means the mold has a set out and it cannot get that tight of spacing to represent North American style track.
Right.
And the Pico Code 83 is a close American style, but there is, if you look at it, the spacing is not 100%. The only one that actually has the correct spacing is the microengineering. But that availability can be like unbearably brutal, and they have QC issues on times where parts of the inside frog will snap. So the metal piece will actually physically snap. So that piece looks fine, and all of a sudden you go and drop it in, and you'll find the whole piece just broke.
The other alternative, I mean, from a switching perspective, is doing a fast tracks, right? If you really want to get into the real nitty gritty of it and do it that way, although it is time consuming, but the rewards are awesome, and we got members that can build that stuff. But when we looked at, and then using microengineering track, right, for that. But if you are going to take a successful Pico layout, is going to use the Code 83 Flex and the Code 83 turnouts, but also use their joiners. It's a must. Use their joiners that are tight fit, but they will make sure the tolerances are perfect. And so you're going to get yourself the old SL110 type joiners, right? Make sure you have that. And then if using the insulated, use their insulated joiners for that, because that is what you're going to make sure that you're going to have a successful layout, especially when you're doing a bridging between spacing out your blocks.
Well, that's so. When me and Daryl met up at Tim Hortons a few weeks back about doing a crossover for me, and we were talking about microengineering. He brought samples, and we were actually comparing the microengineering track to Walters track. It was a bit of a difference between the two tracks. So either I had to use microengineering joiners to go from microengineering to Walters, because I'm using Walters track.
Yeah.
But Daryl said that he could probably build me a crossover using Walters track, in which Lauren had stock. I would have bought a pack of stock, but then that's more money. But I decided to go for the number 8 that Lauren's ordering instead.
I think what's the best is do what's right for you and what you feel comfortable with.
Well, that's right. Yeah, that's right. It's what's best for you.
I use all Pico, and
right.
The other classic problem is if you have a defined track plan, Stuart, sometimes you need to lay that most important switch correctly and make sure you have the most important switch purchased.
Yeah.
So when we built our first layout on the farm, we needed 2 double slip Code 83, Code 100 Picos. That was the first thing that was installed, or the whole layout didn't start.
Yeah, because you got to get that arc, that angle right.
And that lead coming out of the yard onto the main, correct? Or else
Yep.
just
It's
Yeah,
a
and I've
no-go,
ripped up
right?
switches before, but
The only challenge that I had in my layout, I had to put in a couple of curved turnouts, which I used the Walters, and I put them in. One is for my yard, mostly from the yard access. Because of my space where I had lots of curves. So I needed just to make to get the track around it. I could have went another part of the house, but I decided to use what I call the mechanical part of the basement. So it's a more unusual spot. It has its challenges, but I think I overcome the challenges. But everything's running okay, except for my mishap with my number 6. I think I slipped. I went to put the track up, and I noticed the tail of the rail was bent. I must have hit it with a hammer or something fell off. I straightened it. It worked, but I haven't got the second main line done, so I haven't really done the proper testing. And I decided I don't trust it. I'm going to change it.
you hit it with the hammer.
What's that?
You hit it with the hammer.
And you know, on the track as well is what's key for every modeler to get in as well is understand what equipment you're running. If you're going to be running a lot of Hornby equipment, you're going to be running a lot of maybe British type rails, then get a track that's going to run well for that. But because if you decide to run it on some Hornby stuff on an Atlas track, you're going to have a lot of bumpy because the nails on the ties are high, right?
And the profile of the rail might not work with the flangers and cut. That's the other consideration.
Yeah. Now the Code 83 on the newer Hornby stuff that's made probably in the last 10 years works well. We had no problem. And that was one of the key driving pieces was, can any equipment that any member would bring in run reasonably that was made in the last 10, 20, 15, 20 years, right? Yes, it can, because of there was the tolerances on the height of the rail and where the nails were on the rail. I mean, the spikes, right, where they were tying they were low enough profile that the trains would just glide over top and you wouldn't have an issue. So those are things that you have to kind of take into consideration, because before it was all Atlas 83, right? And then all of a sudden, we need to change it up. It's not the way it needs to.
Stuart, I ran the other day. I have a couple of old River Aussie steamers, Hudsons, TH&B in fact. One belonged to my father-in-law. He was a railroad guy. He was a minister. He used to live in Tillsonburg. And it didn't. But I had a replacement for that. It ran okay, but it fell apart because the screw came out. But I had it running on the layout with no problem. But sometimes I had the President's Choice steamer running. It didn't like the turnout. My number 6 crossover.
Because your turnouts are not forgiving, whereas Code 100 is thicker and deeper and it's more forgiving.
That's why I stuck to 100.
I know, but at the time, though, when I decided to go with Code 83, Walter was not doing Code 100 very much.
So another thing you're going to have to consider, James, is you're going to have to change out some of the wheels to have RP85. You're going to be forced.
Yeah.
Well, on rolling stock?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Trust me, the second you foul the switch and you'll be like, the truck's engaged, the wheel's engaged, and you're going to find out that it's pitted incorrectly and can't take the turnout.
Yeah. No, I'm prepared to do that and when we're ready, but until I get track running and start testing stuff.
That's why you see guys will buy Code 83 Intermountain wheels and thousands at a time, because it will take all the major 83 brands because of the profile, because it's machine lathe, not punch lathe.
You're right. Yeah. The only thing about is locomotives are a different story altogether.
Yes, that is true, right? And most recently, a locomotive that BLI somewhat re-released was the Daylight. And then a lot of the first things online where folks are saying, well, it doesn't go over the switch. And then you look at the video and they said, well, you're running it over a Kato track, right? Now a shorter Kato switch. Well, Kato tracks are great for easy setup, but they aren't designed for some of the longer wheel-based equipment, right? And
They're
some of
not,
the
yeah.
geometry is very different, especially on a
Well,
484, right?
I have a Broadway Hudson TH&B. I took it out of the box today. I haven't run in 2 years. I had no problem running. Right now I have a point-to-point track, one line running from A to B. I run it forward, and I backed it up several times today, and had no issues. So I was quite pleased with that.
Yeah, that one actually runs quite well. That's for sure.
And
There's one
I
around
would have,
here from the club.
if I had had better results with the other layout about turnouts, I may have made a different decision. And Walter had made code 100 in the turnouts, I might have changed the code 100. But at the time, I couldn't get it, so I had to make a decision based on the availability of track. And I'm happy with the product. This is a learning curve. I got to change wheels. We got to do couplers anyhow, so it'll be lots of work. All my Rapido stuff, Lauren, what they must have good wheels on, don't they? I have lots of Rapido rolling stock.
Yeah, Rapido is one that you have to always check, make sure that it's definitely ready to roll and run. But those are ones that is like any manufacturer, always check the gauge and just make sure everything's running smoothly.
Yeah.
That'll be your best friend there. Right?
But it's a learning curve for me, and I learn as I go, make adjustments to what I have to do. But so far,
sure.
I'm pleased with how it works. Tweaking here and there.
Now, here's a speaking kind of the geometry. This is a newer locomotive. This is I want to say the kind of the second release of Broadway Limited's Daylight. And so this is a full die cast type train. And you can see from the geometry itself, there's a lot happening here with the wheels, right? They're very larger wheels, and not like, like a big boy where it does have a lot of wheels, but these are bigger wheels, right? And so prototypically, when this guy is running over the track, this is where if you can get this guy or an FEF or something like that running over the rails nicely, then your track is pretty darn good, because the geometry of this train, no matter who made it, whether it was Lionel or MTH or Broadway at the time, but this one works well. Now, Bachmann does make this one as well, but their geometry is slightly different. But this is more prototypical than anything. So this is what
Bachmann half the price of that one.
It is, but the problem is the Bachmann is it's a completely different engine. You have to understand that this is a completely different deal than from those, because this is a full die cast. It's fully weighted, and then it also it weighs about 2 pounds.
I have a Bachmann, I think a 484, I think it is. It's a nice small little steamer. New York Central. It runs nice. I really like it.
Yeah, no, for sure. If you didn't even know the finer scale
pieces, I want to get to run with it.
Yeah, this is the way to go. So it's very well done. Broadway's outdone themselves on this one. Had a chance to get it tested up on the layout and pull some cars. I pulled 17 Broadway Limited cars with this thing, up a 2%, 1.9% grade. It was almost 2%, and only at 50% power. So
Dan, welcome.
Yeah, so this is
I don't have many steamers, but I do have my old River Rossi. The only reason I had the River Rossi is because my father-in-law gave me one as a Christmas present many years ago, and he always told me it needed some work. And when he passed away, I went looking for it because I wanted to put it out for his memorial. And after fixing up another one to run, we discovered that he had actually put another motor into the River Rossi. And because of my father-in-law, believe it or not, that's the first reason I found OVR, because of him. Believe it or not, no one knows it, but I bought a TH&B for the memorial service from the Dundas store. And during the testing process of getting it set for the memorial, it fell on the floor and I broke it. So I was scrambling around looking for parts to fix it, and I came across Otter Valley Railroad, and I bought another one from his store. That was back in October of 2019. I didn't even know back then what DCC was. I knew DC because I worked with it all my life. I'm an electrical apparatus service technician. I fixed equipment. There was a motor attached to it, I fixed it.
Now, one of the key things that what's new with the boxing is that Broadway did a really good job from the packaging perspective. But what they surprised everyone with is the actual mount that the engine sits on. Now,
Right.
This is interesting. So what they've done is that they've put in kind of a mount mechanism here where they've got pins.
Yeah.
And these pins here are not screws, but they're pins that'll mount right into the actual chassis itself. As you drop the chassis down there carefully, and it'll sit on the racks and then pin in here. This is a first that I've seen from them, and it's actually not bad because then that way this goes into the blister pack really nicely. It's just getting the alignment in there first, but really kind of a cool design here. So I think one of the most things that most model railroaders don't like is having a screwdriver and unscrewing it from the top. Although that's
Mountain and Atlas.
And Bowser, right?
Bowser.
does that.
Bowser.
Okay.
Now, that's nothing wrong with that, but it's time
No.
consuming getting it out of the packaging, right? And so it is
I'm
a little bit.
hoping to unbox my trains that I've been boxed up for 2 years, put them on the layout, and they'll stay in the layout, and everything else that doesn't go in the layout, I'm going to box up, forget to have.
Well, that can be different when you're going to a club, right? Are you going to
I
a
go
layout?
to trains to the club, but I don't like running loop. If I'm going to do loop, I'll run it home.
Yeah, so this is a great way to this is a nice little packaging that they've got it set here, and that way having it in the actual blister pack, which is kind of the standard, it'll wrap around, and then in the frame. That actually works out well because I put it into another case, and I'll post a picture later. Is I've got a Cabela's armory case, and it's about 44 inches long. But in there, I store all my locomotives, and that way that I can carry it with me. Out to it's downstairs, but it is that's the case with on it and take it through there. I'm actually starting one, but thank you. Okay. I am starting one,
but if you want to give me yours, I'll take it from you.
Yeah, I am working on the comparison between the old BLI, which I think Floyd was mentioning there. That one is perfect. That one ran really well. Did have some quirks, but the new PG4 is actually pretty darn amazing. Yeah. And I think that, but yeah, for sure, if you're going to get out there, I've got some video I posted in a couple of the groups recently, in the Broadway Limited groups to show you some of what it's capable of. But I've got something that I'm working on that I'm going to post up on my YouTube page, and we'll go from there. But
I get their notifications all the time. I've never dealt with Broadway direct, but I do get their emails all the time. What's coming available?
Yeah, Lauren has some Broadways as well. He's got some good things there. Very well, readily available. It's the key is if you want one, make sure you put your name on the list and to get it.
The only one that I want in Broadway right now is the 103. But I keep sitting back not getting it because it's technically not correct. And that's the only reason, but it's on my wish list to buy the 103 because the 103 is not far from home. It's on the ground, it's sitting there. Yeah, I went to a fundraiser to help pay to restore it.
And get that restored, yeah, no, for sure.
Well, a static restored. They'll never fix the boiler is gone. They'll never pass an inspection. But they can find millions of dollars, and right now they're crying for money as it is. They ain't gonna happen.
Absolutely.
But I am a TH&B guy.
Yeah, well, I actually have a TH&B. The only thing I have TH&B is the plow. I have that.
I have the plow.
Yeah, it's got a plow. Yeah.
Thanks to this guy here in the middle here.
That's right. Yeah, I have to do that too. No product placement there. For sure.
I have all the GP7.
Yep.
In Atlas, a set. I have the GP9s, 2 sets. One in Athearn Genesis and one in Cable. I also have a set of NW2s. Here's one right here. These are all custom. This is a Kato NW2. Let me move around here. You can see it. That is an NW2 Kato drive motor. Now I have two that are DCC and two that are DCC and sound.
No sense getting one.
Get them all. Get them all. Collect them all.
I have 4 of them. I have 4 of the NW, not the SW9s, and they're all DCC and sound.
Hey, Ohio Steam and Steel and Scott Rails.
Hey, Scott, you're welcome. So I have those 4, and I also have the Kato Drive.
2618.
3 of the TP9. And I'm happy with it. I got lots of rolling stock. I got lots of THB rolling stock.
Here comes
Now,
one.
I've got a,
I work on a heritage train, BNSF.
so here's a quick. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll see if this actually does work. I've got a video here that I don't know if it's going to play. I think it is. It's down at the bottom of the screen there.
Oh, hang on.
Is it playing for you again?
I see it. I can't because of the way my computer is. I might be doing
There you go. Not sure how well the image is going to come up, but this is just kind of a first look at the. Now you're hearing the low rumble in the background. That's actually the Rolling Thunder with a subwoofer. So
Yeah.
if you are going to have any type of Broadway Limited engine, go ahead and get yourself a Rolling Thunder, because that is really, it really changes the dynamic of railroading. I mean, you can hear that low bass, especially on the diesel locomotives. You can hear the startup, and it really kind of changes the, you get goosebumps.
Sparky's got one of those.
Yeah, we've got 2 running in kind of in a tandem where they'll kick over at certain areas of the layout. So it's one locomotive passes through and it passes through another area, and then the lightning will kick in as well. So there's a lightning effect that will kick in that we've been testing.
Yeah.
Mom and son, how are you? Tammy and Ray?
Yeah. But yeah, it's challenging, and the train room is my escape place. But I do working on it with issues. Sure, I don't worry about it. I just fix them. A lot of people I've met over in the community that help me with problems I have, and I fix them. But right now I'm learning from Lawrence one feeder connection, because that's all I got is one feeder. That's it. It does work.
You build out from there. Once you're happy with that, then you start making your bus and you start going from there. It's not rocket science what I'm doing.
No, but I worked at Duke Electric. Wire was easy to get at. I had all kinds of wire. In fact, before I moved, I was giving wire away. I was giving away 500 spool rolls of 14, giving it away to people. Here, here's some wire for your layout. Here you go. Because that's what we did. Because we did electrical work. You get a job is done.
Yeah.
We're not going to put a partial roll into the box to go and run a line. We're not going to do that. We don't trust it. So it goes into the surplus pile. So that stuff is scrap. I bring it home.
Now, just a couple of just to change gears there. The couple of folks saying, how many cars was that pulling in that video there? There was about 17. So that's 17 of these cars here. These are the Broadway Limited cars. Now they are these were produced some time ago, but they run really well. And they come in both. They'll be in a kind of a single and then a double type car and triple. So triple for the kitchen car. They're actually kind of one piece. So they'll see them as. I've got one here that I'm putting some passengers in here. This is a double. So it's actually articulated and it's actually joined in the center there. So it's single truck. So super kind of complicated the way it is, but getting into the on the track, you kind of have to have a long type railer to get that in, right? And that works well. Now, yeah, it was 17 cars and those are the other 2. So that'd be 18 and 19 cars if I throw it back on.
No.
Is it tough to get into, CP Whiskey says, is it tough to get into be alive because of the so many bad reviews. Well, it's funny is that you say that it's from the club perspective, we've had really good success with
You gotta
Broadway.
pick and choose.
You do, yeah. There's going to be odd quirks. There was some issues with the smoke modules a while back, right? There
Yep.
was, and they resolved them. I mean, one of the things that I think is overshadowed is that if you send an email to Broadway and you just explain what's happening, you'll get a response, and those guys are pretty smart, and they'll come back and says, we know exactly what that is. Hey, you know what, Stu, we're going to ship you with that little part. No problem.
Stu, did you see the
If you
thing,
feel-
the note from Heath there on the screen? Heath had a question for you, but the BL decoders.
Yeah, for sure. So from a decoder standpoint, one of the things that is always kind of some of the issues sometimes is the address changing, right? So with they having a built-in capacitance, right? So they got their own little power device there. And what's happening there is that if you're trying to program it to the number, it doesn't quite set it in. So usually that has always been the kind of the thing with a lot of numbers. I put the number in, but it's not changing out of 3. Well, there's 2 ways to look at it. You place the number in there, you wait and let it set, and then take it off the track and let the capacitor discharge, and then it'll set and then put it back on. Or you disable the capacitance and do that. The third option is the address changer, and of course I don't have it.
I'm not sure what's on.
But the address changer
in my box. I want to see what's in my box.
Yeah, so the address changer is made by Broadway Limited. It's a really cool device, and it's downstairs. But it's specifically designed also for their locomotives and their early editions. But it will actually reset anything that you put out there, because it will. It's been tested to reset a lot of the old decoders and make them all factory reset to cert number 3, and it knows that if there's something else on there that's not a standard CV8 to 8, it'll push it back there as well, because there's a couple of decoders out there that don't understand CV8 to 8, which is the NMRA standard. So, but you're not seeing that as much anymore. Everyone's gone to 8 to 8, right? The refurbished, great question. Refurbished locomotive, actually, a buddy of mine gets a lot of the refurbished, and they're actually not. There's usually no problems with them at all. They'll tell you if there is. There may be a blemish or something has come off of it, but other than that, I've had really good success with the refurbished units.
That's one thing I missed out on a chance in the refurbished, because they had a Christmas locomotive that I missed out on.
You know what? You just have to just every once in a while check.
I do.
You'll see it there. Yep. But again, it's usually what happens is refurbished. I think one of the things, and Lauren knows this as well, is that refurbished doesn't necessarily mean it was brought back for repair. It means that if a dealer has canceled an order and sent it back, it has to go back as a refurbished because it left the building. It's got to come back, and so then it's refurbished. It can't be.
I'm understanding,
right? It's like a car. You bought a car at the dealership, and then you returned it the next day. It's a used car, right?
Can a dealer order the refurbished stuff?
No.
That's what I thought. So I have to buy direct for refurbished.
It's part of their outlet store.
Yeah. I keep looking every so often. I get an email from Broadway about updates and stuff, and I keep looking for. They made a Christmas steamer, and I wanted to get one, but I missed out on a refurbished one 2 years ago. I missed out. I keep looking for it. So far I haven't seen one.
You know what? You could always email them, and they could they can keep an eye out for you. But remember, a lot of times, if you do get refurbished, and there's members that have, it will, but always read the description of what it is, because sometimes it'll have some missing something that they can't get, and it's fine. And you pay lots for shipping. Well, that depends on how close you are to the border. If something that you can do that, then it's in. But if you have to ship it across the line into Canada, then yeah, it's that is something that is.
Some are bad. Right? Train wheel is really bad.
You know what? This is where business like Lauren's comes in, because Lauren's able to kind of source at a different buying power and
Yeah.
bring that in, and then and we'll Lauren's not on the line at the moment, but when he brings in stuff, right, he's bringing it at the best price he can, and he's offering that to you.
Oh,
right?
yes,
So
that's right.
that's the right thing. I'm not saying don't buy anything from Training World. It just
No, but there's a way
it's
around it
look at
too. I have a go around way now. I have a couple of go around ways.
Yeah, you know what?
Ideally, a vendor like me is one of the best options domestically in Canada because I'm able to move it in at next to no cost.
Yep.
And pass it through.
Yep. Yeah,
So
and
simple
if
as
I
that.
lived in the greater GTA, yeah, I just drive out to you, right? A couple hours, have
Yeah.
some fun, right?
Right. I'd
Not a
rather
problem,
be
right?
able to do it.
It's supporting
But
the
yeah,
for
Train
me,
World, I have a go around, but normally I wouldn't buy from those places. The only reason I went to Train World because they had a special release.
that's
for
right,
the-
and that's
Yeah.
the one thing that you will have to go for, and that's par for the
I
course,
found
right?
a way around that for that. So I solved that problem.
That's par for the course, and you're gonna, and if you want that special locomotive that only a dealer is doing, Otter Valley does the same thing, right? They'll have a
Yeah.
special that's only available to them, exclusive.
Right.
That's cool stuff,
I
right?
have a few of those. I have a couple I haven't even unboxed yet.
Got to get them out of the box.
I
Got to
need
get
a
them on the
label.
rails. You got to keep
Well,
them
I
on the
have-
track, right, Mike?
I
Got
have
to
this
keep them on the track.
OSR
Hey,
Atlas
bud, Jax.
set.
Right.
I have the set. I've had them for 4 years. When did you release those OSR Atlas locomotives, Lauren?
2019.
So I have the pair. They've never been out of the box. They've never run. They've never been on a track.
They're the fellow there, Human City Junction. So from the PG3, tons of experience with those guys, with those decoders. One of the things that, and I'll grab the decoder here, because I know I've got one on as a spare, is one of the things with the decoders is that shorting out. It's rare when it does happen, but if it does, it's because something else on that locomotive that's causing it, or there's something that usually is in the between, if it's on a steam locomotive, the wire from the tender, the harness between the tender and the locomotive might be out or something like that. But if anything does short, you will see something within. So this is an actual chip itself from a PG3. But one of the things you should look at is make sure that to rule out the decoder is make sure there's nothing kind of burnt on it, right? That's one. And then if you're going to put it on the track, yeah, the CV217 address, you can do that as well. That will be an issue. Now, Broadway does have a specific set of instructions they'll email you to pay based on the version of the decoder. And so they will tell you, okay, you need to do these 3 steps for the CVs just to unlock it and then start fresh. And it does help. The address changer does, Broadway Limited address changer does help on that respect as well. But you know what? It's like every electronics. If it's going to fail, it's going to fail. And it's easy enough to get a swap out now, which is great for Broadway. Now they've learned from this going into PG4. They are now enabling, and I'm sure you guys probably saw this in the Amherst show, is they're building a piece that allows them to put in ESU decoders. Now, isn't that cool, right? I can buy
the stealth.
Yeah, stealth. Buy the stealth and put in an ESU decoder. Wow, that changes everything, right?
Yeah.
So those are cool little innovations, right? It's because you know what, and them to work with ESU, that's telling you something that they, hey, that's the next best decoder, right, to go with.
Well, they're also probably realizing they're missing out on people that aren't buying their product because they're avoiding it because of electronic package. So they got to punch out so many number of projects a year, and they want to punch out as much in that tooling. So we make an extra 25% or 40% in non-sound, and it actually sucks up those customers that then will put their own a la carte choice decoder.
Yep, absolutely. I mean,
whether it's ESU or even soundtracks, you can even do soundtracks in those.
Yeah, no, for sure. One thing that a lot of these manufacturers, people complain is that, hey, we don't make enough locomotives. Well, the question that every builder has to ask is, well, how many are you going to sell, right? Because that's going to drive how much I can make it. So
that's the question, and this also helps determine whether your viability of your project works or not.
That's right, because not in it just to make something that because you want it. Well, that's great. But you have to make it. Yeah, you got to make it. You got to make it viable as well. To check, it costs money to make the mold, right? It's just not. It's not a. Not just let's just put it together and get it done. But
Mike wants to know if you open on the long weekend, Lauren.
What's that?
Mike wants to know, are you open on the long weekend?
Saturday.
Family weekend?
Saturday.
Saturday. Taking Sunday off, Mike. Give the guy a break.
I'm not working every day for you. Sorry. I don't need to apologize for that either.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Trust me, I'm working now to get the import file done.
Nope.
I mean, it's no different in mine, Stuart, making freight cars. I have to determine if I can get enough paint schemes, get enough production, get enough tamping done, or
Right.
that paint scheme or that model goes into the death board.
yeah,
And
no,
it doesn't come around unless all of a sudden there's this massive pent up interest.
Yep. No, that's no, you're right, and it's you can, I feel for when everyone asks like you to make, hey, can you make this? I'm like, sure, I can do that, but I need to know, I need a certain amount, right?
You got 600 friends,
right? Yeah,
that's a classic.
Or
classic line.
you say, if you want that, if you want to pay for the mold, be my guest. I'll help you out, right?
Well,
you want to build a set for yourself, yeah.
I mean, I really shouldn't say too much. I made a freight car that I needed 60 for my layout, so I can't say that
much. Yes. Oh, speaking of cabooses, wow. You know what? I have to put my pre-order in for that one for the maintenance. So, I think there's a maintenance way caboose.
You're not going to get the E&N one.
I think I was actually considering that because of being from the West Coast. And I think that's definitely something that I want to do. It's a really interesting model. It's not like your standard. It's an interesting model, and that's what I think is really cool about the OVR line, is that it's an interesting piece. It's not just everyone's doing.
Yeah. I like to do unicorns and freaks and things that people don't consider mainstream. So, like, you look at the bulkhead car, one road, secondhand road. The trash car is mainstream. It's one of those projects that was on our list forever. But, the transfer van, one road, 3 paint schemes, 2 CN variations, the safety one or the demo, the E&M Historical Society. But then you look at something like the ingot car, 4 roads, 1 defined service. I've got 4 or 5 more other cars on our long-term board for the next 2 years for announcements. And they're 1 to 4 road name kind of cars. And people are going to think it's crazy, but you can fit yourself into a nice niche spot really quickly as long as you can find that groove.
Yep, absolutely.
So, Laura, I have a question for you. I understand you have 3 cars up for model of the year. When do you know the results?
Probably end of February.
All right.
And congratulations on the nomination. That's
I'm humble because I'm just amazed for the support and love I got on the 3 cars and the continued support we get. And it helps us motivate us for the next cars to do, and also helps us motivate us to be open-minded for considerations for stuff. And I'm always open to new cars or new announcements. And definitely, if people want to be part of the process and send in information or send prototype information, or I'm working with one group right now, and they're providing me all the field measurements so we can get the renderings done. So that's a huge, have that kind of field ground. That's huge.
Yeah, I agree. That's a great achievement. That is definitely a great thing.
Well, I think my favorite car is probably the pipe load car.
I need pipes.
Huh?
I need pipe load pipes
all night long.
Like at least 6 more, right, Sadie? We need
probably.
At least 6.
I'm hoping to get 6. That's my.
Maybe.
Well, Jen, it is up at the top of the hour. It is coming up to 6 p.m. for me, and the wife's calling me for dinner. So I'm
Didn't
gonna
it?
have to bid you guys adieu. But thanks for the kind of the kudos. Asked me if I have a YouTube channel. I do. I haven't
Oh.
quite gotten to doing stuff yet. It's I'm working on it. I've got a lot of footage and just putting it all together. So, and I might I'd
We'll
like to
be
do a live
waiting
show,
for you.
but
We'll be waiting for you.
yeah,
What's
thank
the,
you. I'd love to do a live show, but I got to get you guys on it as well, and or maybe just piggyback and just kind of hey, let's do some cool thing at the layout and
You're always welcome to join our lives.
yeah.
excellent. That'd be great.
Put your YouTube channel in the link or in the
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah, you haven't had one yet.
Oh, I do. Oh, I have
Yeah.
it. Oh, yeah, the channel.
You have a channel.
I registered the domain a while back because I was waiting for it. It was modeltrainreviews.com. And I tell you, it's that I waited and it was coming up for expiry, and then I sniped it right away. And I said, that's the one I want.
Yeah.
And so,
Put
yeah,
it
definitely
up
there.
You guys join your channel.
Yeah, for sure. I think if they click on my icon, it'll take me there. It'll take you there, but hang on. It'll
Say something in the chat and I'll go there.
Stuart, are you going to Super Train?
yes, I believe.
All right, I'll see you
Yes.
there.
Yeah, I'm going to. I will tell you.
Well, you're out west. You just gotta drive across the border.
Oh, it's an easy flight. It's an easy flight for sure.
Are you in Vancouver?
Yes, in Vancouver. So it's just YVR to YYC. It's an hour. It's an hour flight.
I've been
I'll put a YouTube link there. I think it'll work, or maybe it's not. But
Hang on, I'll go to your channel.
yeah, I think so. It should
Mike,
be
you
there.
thinking about Calgary?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking about it now, aren't you?
Well, I'm not thinking about it. I just got to make sure the date's clear.
I'd like to make sure we see some good vendors out there. I think Rapido's going, and now Lauren's going. This is great.
Aurora will
yeah.
be there. Aurora.
Aurora, yeah, that's going to be a really good to see.
I'm already subscribed to your channel already, so it doesn't matter.
I was talking
subscribed
with Claire from Sylvan tonight. He's I got him in the ear to think about it because I told him what the to Calgary, and he was like, "Oh, that's not a bad number." I'm like, "No, that's not a bad number at all."
No, I wanted to go, but we can't. We're flying to Newfoundland in June.
Okay.
And we're going. My wife has a conference in June in Toronto, so our trip budget is not available this year.
All right. Thanks a lot, gents. Like I say,
Yeah,
wife's
no
got
worries.
dinner to go. It's always a pleasure to kind of hang out with you guys and do some cool stuff. And at least I got to
We
share
have
Trina.
27 subscribers so far.
Okay, your subscriber count's going up like crazy.
I know it's great. Oh, it's great. Oh, I love it. I love it. We'll get on it and we'll get something going there. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jared.
And, Mike, what do we got to keep doing, Mike?
Keep it on the tracks.
Yeah, that's right. We got to get that
Yeah,
in the
training
next
catch, too.
into a
Okay.
got to put that into a train. And all right, see you guys later. I got
Keep it on the tracks.
See you guys later. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
No, Lauren, my wife got invited to a choral festival in St. John's, Newfoundland.
It's a corn fest.
5 days.
Okay.
Mikey.
Is that what he said? Corn fest?
No, he did not say that. He said Coral Fest. But thanks.
Oh,
man.
corn fest. I thought, what? They do that up there too? They do that in
She got
Watford.
invited.
What are you doing? You
I'm
want up?
going.
Okay.
All right, gents. I am done. I need a break. So I
Okay.
need to say I'm due.
Mr. Lauren, thank you for popping in. We had a good chat.
What a good girl.
We'll see you in a couple weeks.
See you, gents.
What a good girl.
See ya.
What? Mhm.
Well, that was good, Mr. Mike.
That was good. I'm just working away. I got to repaint
The
one.
Coral, John 2618. You want to fly us there and save me some money? Be my guest.
See, John thought he heard the same thing. I was like, is that a corn fest or a coral?
Coral.
Because they do that in Watford, just outside of town here.
Yeah.
Corn fest in the summer. Thanks, Thomas.
Okay, Thomas Grassi, thank you very much.
I'm going to finish weathering these. Then I got to put them on the track, make sure the wheels are clean. And
Yeah, I'm going to go spend some time with the wife. I'll put things back away tomorrow.
Should be
We
good.
gotta
Well,
go
I still
pick
gotta
up
clean this basement.
the stepbrother's girlfriend should be in Hamilton now, so we gotta pick them up, take to the rental car, and yeah, I know she's a soprano, John 2618.
A soprano.
Yes, soprano.
Oh, boy. But I got to
So
finish
quiet.
balancing and cleaning up this. And the end of the month, I will do a layout update.
I'm gonna
Then
do an
I'll-
update next week.
I'm going to do mine. I'll keep it the end of every month. But yeah, then I'll have all this mess cleaned up and maybe some more rebuilt.
No problem, Chris.
And what are you into now?
Yeah.
Hey.
I'll do an update in a week or two. Then when I have the loop running. Yeah, John, my wife's a choir, music.
She's a singer. She's a singer.
Yeah.
Okay, off the rails. Take care, buddy.
Anyone make her hearse. No problem, Tim. Thanks for popping in, buddy. Here.
Thanks for coming out there, CP368, Timmy. And don't forget, this Thursday is
Mark.
Mark. M&M Rails.
Rails.
Hopefully you can keep them up past 9.
If we're lucky, he will.
Yeah, because I believe it's a holiday Friday. Is Friday a holiday? Monday is.
Monday is.
Oh, Robin's wife is a soprano too. There you go.
Yeah, my wife belongs to the Welsh Ladies Chorus, and they got invited to sing at a choral festival in St. John's, Newfoundland.
Good night, Tammy and Ray.
There's going to be about 30 or 40 choirs around the world on that weekend. We're flying out Friday. We're only gone for 5 days.
What are you doing?
Good night, Tammy and Ray.
Yeah.
Good night, John Train.
And yeah, then I'm gonna get back on this layout. Long weekend.
And I'm going to go spend time with the wife. Thanks, Chris. Have a
Yeah,
good night.
thanks for coming up, Chris. What do you want? You just
And
bug me.
as we always say, I got a train to catch, and Mike's not gonna fall off the tracks.
You got a train to catch. Oh, you're stealing Chris's line, eh?
Well, we borrow it.
Yeah. And then you're supposed to go.
We're running trains. I was running trains today.
Yeah. How's priming up, painting up, grinding up,
It's painting today.
and a couple touch ups to do, and then I'll be good.
Yeah.
But other than that, son,
All right, Robin, we're gonna go. I'm gonna end this stream, and you everybody have a really good night. I appreciate everybody who came out to see us. Thank
Yeah.
for our subscribers, all our like buttons we got pushed tonight.
thanks for the new subscribers and continued support.
Yep. And
And
next
if you're
Monday is
subscribed-
on Mike's channel,
Yeah, I'm on Family Day Monday night,
7 o'clock.
7
Good night,
o'clock.
John.
This is a day in the States, and then like I say, we appreciate all the support.
Yep.
Like I say, it doesn't cost nothing, eh? Hit
Nope.
that button,
I'll be done.
get notification bells on, and get notified when we're doing our lives and popping up videos.
Well, if Derek says there's 31 people watching, you can't end it. Tell it to my wife, Derek.
Keep her going, man.
Yeah. What is
I got
that?
more painting to do.
You paint. I'll chit chat for a bit,
Okay.
and I'll put my cars away.
Oh, wrong section of the camera. That's the layout. Got all
Yeah.
that balances and a little bit more ballasting to do and gluing.
Yeah.
Boom.
But yeah, I'll put these
Hi, Sadie.
cars away.
You're fine. You're fine. Couple drops.
That one in the box. Chit that away. These Yellow Box, Athearn stock are decent stock.
Ooh.
Yeah, 2 of everything. 25
Two
actually.
over.
I got 2 of these.
Twos.
2. This is my UWT50. I got a pair of them.
That's the wireless one, eh? Hoping to hit the Silver Creek sub there on the weekend too.
When you gonna do that? Sunday?
Maybe Sunday, Monday.
I won't be. We have we have Mass, of course. Down to 19, Tim. Okay, that's all right.
Okay, when we get to 15.
15. I'm not sure if Sparky going to go live on Friday or not. I'm not sure what I'm doing,
I don't know.
but I am. I was running my Broadway tonight, and that thing ran really nice. I was surprised. It didn't give me no issues whatsoever. And find my train. What's this? Trackside bike. Roger had a good question before. He wanted to know how you don't get all the paint from the airbrush up under the wheels and gears when you spray the sides of the trucks.
Oh, after I'm done this, I'll take rubbing alcohol and put it on cloth and clean the trucks, clean the wheels.
What kind of stalkers, Tim, you trying to catch? And Chris wants to send some trains to you to get weathered.
What sends the trains to me?
Yeah, you want to do some couple of cars for him?
Sure.
4 cars? Ship them out.
Ship them out. Give her that grime look. I'll take all that apart, but yeah, after the live, I'll get a piece of this paper towel.
Yeah.
And I put it on the tracks, and I soak it with rubbing alcohol, and then I run the train over it and clean the wheels. Works good. Never had any problems with the gears. But that's a heavy. I was gonna only do light weathering, but
Yeah.
These GP40s and that look pretty cool all day to But if you really want to get a good job done, you go to Wade Kelly. He does an awesome job on these.
Well, that's not good, Tim. You don't need that.
But Wade does a really excellent job on weathering. And I'll clean up my airbrush now.
But don't you have a masking device for wheels too?
Yeah, I do. You want me to get that?
Derek much for actual wheel treads.
Yeah,
Mikey has a device which you haven't pulled out for masking wheels. I think you can get them at Otter Valley Railroad. So I don't have that problem because my trains are clean and shiny.
Actually, I could do one real quick to show you.
Okay.
Let me grab one. So these are, can't remember the name of them, and I can't see the name of it. But you put your, there's 36 or 32s, and what's the other size?
Yeah.
36. Put your wheel sets in there
33.
and paint them. I'll grab a chuck of rolling stock.
So what rolling stock that Lauren mentions I need to change wheels on a lot of? What brand of car?
Well, because you're 83, right?
Right. But what
So-
cars do I need to look at? What
Some
brand?
you might have to change because you're gonna have derailing issues, is what he's saying.
Yeah, I know, but do you know what cars?
No, I don't know if there's a specific brand or not.
Yeah.
Let's see what these are. So that's a repeated bulkhead. And I'll pull the wheels off.
I don't have too many older cars, Tim, so I shouldn't have too much problem with that, I think. The oldest cars I probably have will be these type of yellow box Athearn stuff.
Where's my tools?
Well, I think I got to run them too, John. That's for sure. I know I was running my Hudson tonight, and it ran with no issues. But when I was running that President's Choice 6060, it didn't like the turnout. Well, I'm gonna go to the store and I'll find out him directly.
Got to peel these wheels out.
But that's my next step is get the bridge all done. Cause I'm gonna do all the details for the bridge so it'll be finished. And once the track goes down, I can't take the bridge out. Yeah, I don't know, Tim. I know I have an older President's Choice 6060 steamer, and it did not like my crossover. It did not like it at all. But my Hudson, which is a newer Broadway, it had no issues whatsoever. I didn't have the camera in that room too, but I don't have it right now.
So, what size wheels are these? We're gonna find out. Aha, that is the right size. Perfect.
There you go.
These just pop in.
I have lots of blue box stuff, but I'm not gonna put them on the track really.
They were on the tracks.
It might go away to gifts to people or something like that.
So there you go. You got full car wheels.
Full car wheel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hang on, let me get rid of all this.
That's for rolling stock wheels, right? Not the locomotive.
Yeah, these are rolling stock wheels.
Yeah.
Now I have seen HO Powertrains.
Okay.
He had a piece of nail or a screw in the track and put the plow up against it and then just spun wheels.
Now I've seen a box. I have a Tyco cleaning car that I'm gonna upgrade that.
Everybody's probably got your own little trick.
I bought a jig from Yankee Dabbler for drilling out the screws for blue box coupler boxes.
Let's go with straight up rust.
But I have a Tyco cleaning car, and it's built on the same principle as the CMX car you got. Same principle, only older. And I'm gonna replace the wheels and upgrade that to pull on my layout. I had a lot of blue box. I bought them all from the club. I gave them all back to the club. Donated. But you don't have an airbrush, Chrissy boy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Straight up
Rust paint. Now that rust paint you use, what color is that one? What
This
number
one
is
here-
the bottle? What number is the bottle?
There's just rust.
Yeah, but what number is the AK number?
71.080.
Okay, one I got is 4111. 41111.
Let's try an orange rust, or orange rust.
It's called light rust deposits.
Let's see what the orange does.
Yeah, that's what I paid for mine. $5 to $10. It's not fussy on those copper clips.
You see that, all right?
Yeah.
Straight up rust.
Yeah.
And I'll just air dry them.
Yeah.
Tough dries for the front. There you go. Wheels are done. Nothing on the bottoms because see, there's no paint on the flanges
No.
because it's set into these.
Yeah. No, it's good. Look good, Mike.
Pop them back in. Bob's your uncle.
But I was looking the other day for something, and I came across. I had a pair of locomotives that had never been on the box. They're Walters Mainline CP and A and B unit F7s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one. Michael Mart wanted too much money to ship it across the border, so I was able to get mine from Yankee Dabbler, and Bob took it to Springfield, and Mikey brought it back.
Yeah.
But
I get
Michael
that.
Mart wanted $45 and some odd number to ship it across. Nah, I didn't get it, but I did get one.
I'm gonna have to play with that sucker after, but it's easier to take trucks off. But yeah, it works pretty good for the wheel kit.
Yeah.
Got a lot of wheels to do yet.
Yeah, I got a lot of track to put down yet,
Yeah.
but
But these things work great. I got these at Uber.
yes, he does, Chris.
Yeah. Lauren sells these. Let me see if I can get the name of it.
Oh yeah, John, we haven't left yet. Our tracks collided on the track somewhere. Yeah, once I seen it on this website. I don't know what the make is. You have to search. I'm not sure what make it is, but he does have it.
I'll look it up. I know I got the rating or the package that come in.
Right.
Gotta find it, but so they got those ones. I think these are the Here's the ones for your passenger cars,
Right. Okay.
right? And they have them on. Check them out at OVR.
What?
They weren't much.
Who makes them, Mikey? This if you had if
Well,
Chris
that's what I'm
Bryant-
trying to look. These okay. These are 33.
yeah,
This one is.
I don't need them because my trains are shiny,
These are 36.
clean
That's
and
30.
polished. If
The
I get a locomotive done, I'm gonna send the way Kelly get done.
Yeah, the make of them, I don't know. Yeah, send your like your Gevos and stuff. Send him the Wade. He does a really good job.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not ready to do a locomotive yet. I'll work on my bridge first. That's the starting point. Get the bridge finished so I can run trains.
And he can run trains.
Yeah, that's all I need. Run trains. It'll take me a weekend to get once I get those those number 8s in to do that. It's gonna be because I gotta rip everything all. It's not a big deal, but it'll take time. It's getting off the old cork.
Oh
But
yeah.
my multi tool works right. Yeah, John, that's the way I like it. Clean and shiny, polished, waxed, just like the day they came in the door. If they're dirty, if they come in my door, and that's okay.
Well, I could show you. Well, you seen the ones that Wade did, didn't you?
I don't. I have some DC stuff, John. But I don't have a DC loop.
Here's one that Wade did right there.
Yeah. Is that the 5008?
Yep.
I have that one.
Did the trucks, the tank, all the grills.
Yeah. No, he did a good job.
Yeah, Wade does a good job.
Now I'm gonna buy this little tool that KD makes for doing couplers, stuff, for grabbing screws. I'm gonna buy one of those things.
Here's the other one he did.
That's the 100th anniversary. You know, I haven't come across yet. I have a book on the 100th anniversary of CNA. It's about an inch thick.
And he changed out the PTC antennas. Weathered the trucks, the tank.
But my only DC stuff is some older stuff I picked up. So I bought a couple of new ones for testing, and I'm gonna eventually switch them over to DCC. But no sound. They want too much money to buy a sound chip. I'm only gonna put in DCC chips, and I'm gonna try the Soundtrack 8-pin to put in my Atlas. I have an Atlas GP40 I got from my neighbor, and it's a go. It's a go. And it's DC ready for an 8-pin. These this guy here, this Athearn one I got here, this is an F59 PHI. It has TCS decoders in place.
Wow sound.
Yeah, well, just the chip.
Oh, okay.
Just the chip. There's no sound. They want too much money for the sounds. $125 for a sound chip.
Oh wow.
And I was looking at my RS1s. They're quite involved to replace the cup to put in a chip and nose. So I'm not sure I'll do it. But I'm gonna try this GP40 myself.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hit the wrong button.
Well, I don't know about you, but my wifey is missing me.
Is she?
Yeah.
She had enough of you all day?
No.
Huh.
No. But
That should probably be a
I was
joy.
down here in the train room on off all day though.
Oh, okay.
Playing with my airbrush. And I like the airbrush. Okay, pleased with the color of the I did with that. And that is craft paint, believe it or not. That's just craft paint.
Crap paint.
Yeah. Yeah, Wig Wag, thank you.
Wiggy wag. See you Saturday.
Derek, there's nothing wrong with the Great White North of Canada. I just don't choose to weather my trains.
Hopefully, weather's good.
I have two of these though.
Choose.
Two. Because the reason I got two of these things here because TCS does not want dealers in Canada to sell their product. They don't want to give dealers a way of making a little bit of money. So the store I got them from ordered them in by mistake. I got the first one at cost, which is $200, and the second one I got for $135.
Oh, wow.
They're $200 American.
There, all the tapes off it. I just got to put just to show you.
I have one of those drawers too, Tim. That looks good. He did a really nice job of that.
Yeah, and then I.
No, John, you can't chase me away at all. I just think my wife wants me.
I put a Sharpie pen on the seals.
Yeah. No, they did a good job.
And I still got stickers down here. I got to pull off the catwalk, right? All the markers.
But I have two of these, Derek. He doesn't have any.
Twos. What?
Two. You don't have any Go trains because you sold them to me.
I sold them to you.
Yeah. I have two of the newer F-59s.
And then obviously I'll go over it with weathering.
Yeah.
Don't cover up all of the details.
Yeah.
Plus I have all the striping, the yellow stripes.
Yeah. Oh, okay, there's the jig there. There you go, Chris.
Where's the jig?
It's right there on the screen.
Yeah, there it is. Yep. Do they still have them in stock?
Derek, no, not until I get the bridge done and get the crossover situation resolved.
Yeah,
I need the bridge done. And Phil is working on the 3D printing of the guardrail, the girders for the bridge. Once I get them into my possession, they gotta be glued together and be painted, and then they gotta be epoxied into this wood platform. And then I'll put them in, but I need to have all the details underneath the bridge done too.
Right.
And I'm thinking of actually getting a piece of plywood and cutting it to the width of a roadway, using that for a roadway, and painting and buying some. You can buy some asphalt paint that's gritty, AK making in fact, and I'll paint it on like sand, like asphalt.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna put some gravel on the side of the roadway, and I'll grass it up. I'm gonna get a couple of things from Otter Valley Railroad. They have a bunch of junk piles I can put inside the road, and they have a little tiny shed that's from Landmark that's done. I'm gonna get that, and they may throw a piece of track and on there too, and just let it like abandoned track. But yeah, we're getting ready to go. Roger, thank you. Epic. Yes, Derek. If I get running a loop, I will be going live that day. And I'll plan for a Tuesday. I won't run a loop during a live. I'll run it dedicated to Golden Spike moment. running a loop.
Running a loop.
And we'll run trains. Hopefully the Rapido passenger train.
Nice.
Yes. But I think I'm going to go, and I think I really appreciate everybody who came out tonight. It was a good time. We had some good guests.
Yeah,
Good
appreciate it.
conversation. And there's more next week. We're just starting. Where did I see? Yeah. So, okay, guys. Thank you. Have a great night, and we'll see you on the next stream. Tomorrow is Tuesday, so it's Off Track
Tuesday.
Tuesday. I think it's Redbird Tony, I think, tomorrow.
Yeah, Redbird Tony's this week.
And D-Rail Dale is Wednesday. And he's at
River Eastern Thursday.
8 o'clock. And Marky is on Thursday.
Thursday night.
And there's a rumor that Sparky is going to go live on Friday. And I think Boxcar Jerry will pop in, run lives all during the week.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out from him. And rest are surprises. Pop-ups.
Pop-ups.
Yep.
All right. Till the next one.
Till the next one.
Keep it on the tracks.
Good night, guys.
Take care.
Take care.